Welcome to Don't Tell Mama. Please silence your cell phones and throw them away. Texting, photography, and video recording are not allowed during the performance. Also, please keep the aisles clear for the performers and wait staff. And now, please welcome to our legendary stage, the one and only Laura Jeans!
What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knitting, the book and the broom. Time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine. Come hear the band. Come blow your horn. Start celebrating. Right this way, your table's waiting. Permitting some prophet of doom. With whom I shared four sordid rooms in Chelsea. She wasn't what you'd call a blushing flower. As a matter of fact, she rented by the hour. The day she died, the neighbors came to snicker. Well, that's what comes from too much booze and liquor. But when I saw her laid out like a queen, she was the happiest corpse I'd ever seen. I think of Elsie to this very day. I remember how she turned to me and said, what good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music play. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Put down the knit, the book and the broom. Time for a holiday. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. And as for me, I made my mind up back in Chelsea. When I go, I'm going like Elsie. Started by admitting from cradle to tomb. Is it that for a stay? Life is a cabaret, old chum. Only a cabaret, old chum. And I love a cabaret. I know. I'm so sorry to be missing all these years. Someone dear world, someone has poisoned you. Dear world, and those who love you defiantly insist that you get off that withered crust. So make your it quick, world. We're having a sick world. We want you dancing tomorrow. So be a dear world. Take the stitches out, dear world. Rip the bandage off, dear world, and get well soon. Please take your medicine, dear world. Please keep your pressure down, dear world. Promise to thrive on each word your doctor speaks. He'll bring the roses back to your cheeks, for you've been a pallid and sick world. Stick out your tongue and say, oh world, we'll bring you plasma and tonic by the spoon. So be a dear world. Take your medicine, dear world. Keep your pressure down, dear world, and get well soon. Please keep your fever down, dear world. Please keep your courage up, dear world. Your vitamin vigor is very sorely missed. Help us declare you patient dismissed. So stand on your crutches with pride, world. You've got to save your own hide, world. We'll bring you lilacs and tonic by the spoon. So be a dear world. Keep your fever down, dear world. Keep your courage up, dear world, and get well soon. Hello, everyone. Hello. I asked for a rowdy bunch. I got one, right? I did. I said, you have to come and be rowdy, you know, you have to make noise. Oh, these guys will go to sleep. We can't have that happen.
That's not happening.
No. Thank you all for coming here to Don't Tell Mama, coming out after 2 years of craziness. It just feels so good, right? Yeah. We're in a room, we're singing, we're drinking, well, not all of us, and we're eating, and we're happy, and here we are. Thank you. We all thank you. Hello, you long shots, you dark horse runners, hairbrush singers, dashboard drummers. Hello, you wild magnolias, just waiting to bloom. There's a little bit of all that inside of me and you. Thank God, even crazy dreams come true. I've stood at the bottom of some walls I thought I couldn't climb. I felt like Cinderella at the ball, just running out of time. So I know how it feels to be afraid, to think that it's all gonna slip away. Hold on, hold on. Here's to you free souls, you firefly chasers, tree climbers, porch swingers, air guitar players. Here's to you fearless dancers, shaking walls in your bedrooms. There's a lot of wonder left inside of me and you. Thank God, even crazy dreams come true. Never let a bad day be enough to Thank God, even crazy dreams come true. Thank God, even crazy dreams come Let's take a moment to introduce these wonderful musicians behind me. I couldn't be more lucky to share a stage with these most talented people. Don't let it go to your head. Back again with us for the umpteenth time is the very talented on drums, Rex Benincasa. And joining us for the first time tonight, I couldn't be more lucky and more happy to share the stage with this wonderful bass player. Welcome to Rip Hen. And the one man who puts up with me the most. And he's great. He's very talented, he's very giving. He is my director, my accompanist, David Gaines. I do that at work too, right? They know. Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair, sent in the clouds. Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, one who can't move. Where are the clowns? Send in the clowns. Just when I'd stopped opening doors, finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours, making my entrance again with my usual flair, sure of my lines, the one is there. Don't you love farce? My fault, I fear. I thought that you'd want what I want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns. Quick, send in the clowns. What a surprise! Who could foresee spent a lot of time in quarantine. Some of us went to work, some of us, but we were home, the grocery store, work, or whatever. How many times can you watch a rerun? How many times can you listen to things? How many times can you be on the internet looking at stupid shit all the time? So I just got to thinking about my life. And, I always have a little story to tell, as people tell me, but, I have stories. So I thought, well, I could put this together. I could make a little thing, we could do this. Your mind goes around. When you're by yourself in your own head, it's a dangerous place to be. Especially my head.
Agreed. Who said that?
Excuse me, Daryl? Is that you? Just because you're 9 feet taller than me doesn't mean I can't get you. History proves that. Behave. Anyway, what Daryl just agreed with. My own head is a dangerous place sometimes. So I thought it would be nice to make a book or a movie. When they make a movie of my life, I hope they get somebody beautiful to play me, somebody eloquent and beautiful to play me. When they make the movie of my life, and when they make the movie of my life, I hope they get somebody famous to direct it, somebody famous and a genius to direct it. When they make the movie of my life. How much I've overcome to be someone deserving of a motion picture. When they write the book about my life, I hope they write about my sexual adventures, my very legendary, passionate adventures. When they write the book about my life, and when they write the book about my life, I hope they mention I was very good with children, good with the elderly and animals and children. When they write the book about my life, and everyone will see they underrated me. Oh, how they misconceived and misperceived this living saint and tiger woman. But if they really write a movie of my life, they'll show me going to 1,000 stupid movies. And if they really wrote a book about my life, they'll say I read a lot of nothing little novels. And all this is true, and everyone will see my mediocrity, how I deserve to be forgotten, just like everybody else. Please don't make a movie of my life. Don't write a musical or write me into fiction. I don't deserve any portrayal or depiction. Just my very, 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 very little Hoping to fly, I care at all. 'Cause when you don't care, you don't cry. It won't hurt if you don't try. But I still believe in all my dreams and all that I can be. I'll learn from mistakes, do all that it takes to make it eventually. 'Cause I still believe in me. I'll find an unbreakable heart to help me get through this part. I swear I'll never rest until I am standing out there with the very best. But there's no heart that won't break, and sometimes it's a heartache. But I still believe in all my dreams and all that I can be. I'll learn from mistakes, do all that it takes to make it eventually. 'Cause I still believe, I still believe, I still believe in me. No. You know, first I'm going to start with, a couple weeks ago started with this 21-day purification. If I had to eat another piece of lettuce and grilled chicken, I'm about to rip somebody's head off just for a pizza and a chocolate cake. But, see all that frustration? I see that all the time. Like you turn on your computer, the news, the banter that goes on social media. It's so crazy. Like everybody has something to say, and it's so upsetting. Like it's just I can't deal with that. If music is no longer lovely, if laughter is no longer lilting, if lovers are no longer loving, then I don't want to know if summers are no longer carefree, if children are no longer singing, if people are no longer happy, then I don't want to know. Let me hide every truth from my eyes with the back of my hand. Let me live in a world full of lies with my hand in the sand. For my memories all are exciting, my memories all are enchanted, my memories burn in my head with a heavy glow. And if, my friend, if love is dead, I don't want to know. If music is no longer lovely, if laughter is no longer lilting, if lovers are no longer loving, then I don't want to know. If summers are no longer carefree, if children are no longer singing, if people are no longer happy, then I don't want to know. Let me hide every truth from my eyes with the back of my hand. Let me live in a world full of lies. a child of the 70s. Where did my 70s people come on? And we had a lot of good music, and we're going to do a little bit of an 8-track flashback tonight. This is one song that's going to start it, but it's we had a lot of good music. We had all different kinds. We had 8-track tapes, which were huge. And we used to carry them around. You can only carry one at a time, and whoever had the portable 8-track player, hopefully they'd play your music. They never played mine because it was Barry Manilow. I don't play my music. And then we progressed to cassettes and albums. But I really think we had a lot of folk music. We had a lot of music that said positive things, that created unity, that created all kinds of things. So I just picked one out that symbolizes none of that, but it's one of my favorites. You and me against the world. Sometimes it feels like you and me against the world. When all the others turn their backs and walk away, you can count on me to stay. Remember when the circus came to town and you were frightened by the clown? Wasn't it nice to be around someone that you knew? Someone who was big and strong and looking out for you and me against the world. Sometimes it feels like you and me against the world. And for all the times we cried, I'd always felt that God was on our side. One of us is gone, and one of us is left to carry on. Then remembering we'll have to do. Our memories alone will get us through. Think about the days of me and you and me against the world. You know, I had this boyfriend one time. Story for you, ladies. Seriously. And you know, in high school, we always had our senior high school. I don't know why they took us on senior ski trips. I mean, I can't think of anything more dangerous. Take your kids and throw them down a ski slope at 17 years old. Anyway, this one, he had a fascination for skiing. He fell in love with it, and he used to just, the winter came and the slopes were his mistress. Now, keep in mind, youngins, we didn't have social media. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have any of that. So when someone disappeared, they disappeared. So he just loved skiing. The rest of his high school, to college, to working, and when he started to work, he got more money, so he was always going skiing. And he would just go. I would call his house on the weekends, and they said, "Oh, he went skiing, you fool." And there were times where he would just call, like, I think it was one time where he was actually leaving the country and getting on a plane, not like getting in his car and going to Vermont. And I think he decided it was a good idea to tell me, so he finally got through because my phone was probably always busy because we had busy signals back in the day. If somebody was on the phone, no call waiting, no texting. And I was really out of luck if he didn't get through. And he actually was like, I'm leaving. I'm going away for 2 weeks skiing. I was pissed. Yep. Really pissed. I didn't mean it when I said I hoped the cable in the elevator snapped when you stepped on board. I was joking when I said I hope you crack your head and get mangled by the downstairs revolving doors. And I was kidding when I said I hope the number 103 bus hits and makes a pancake out of you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Isn't it amazing? And I really don't want to see you getting radiation poisoning from the metal detectors that all passengers on foreign and domestic flights must walk through. And I feel bad if at the airport you were mistaken for a local sex offender, arrested, beaten up, thrown in jail. And I really don't want to see you. Oh, I don't want to see you. I'm sorry. Forgive me for all the mean things I said to you. You thought I didn't have a temper. Ha 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 ha! Surprise! But I really don't want to see you dismembered by the marijuana sniffing dogs when a simple little nipping would suffice. And I'm sorry that I said I hope the flight attendant spills scalding hot coffee on your lap as the plane carries you away from me. And I'm sorry that I said I hope you break both legs on the mountain while you ski. And I'm sorry for all the nasty things I said about your mother, even though we both know they're true. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm swallowing my pride. I feel so guilty if you die. Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm still mad at you. One person walking out of Preteen years, some of my best memories are with my cousin Christine, because we were crazy. We would just do all kinds of things. We sang to everything. We would act out songs like two idiots, but we had a lot of fun. And our favorite was the Partridge Family, and we knew every song. Yeah, good old David Cassidy. Right? Yeah, so cute. And well, we did everything, and then back in the 70s, they used to do this thing where, not us, it was the thing they did on the radio, where they would do like an interview, they would ask questions, and they would answer with a song, so it was just like this whole big crazy stupid thing. So we decided we would try our hand at it. If anyone ever found those tapes, because they're somewhere, it would be the most embarrassing, it would be the most embarrassing thing in the world. We did everything, we were crazy, but we had just so much fun. Oh, I miss those days. alive. Nothing stopped me from dawn till bedtime. Dancing lesson, cheerleading too. Getting A's was nothing I wouldn't do. I was running all the time. I was dancing all the time. I had all the time in the world. Oh my God, I was brave. I thought nothing ahead could hurt me. Lunging forward, the worst that could be. Change indestructible me. I was laughing all the time. I was dancing all the time. I had all the time in the world. How the little girl slipped by. How the stream of dreams runs dry. Somewhere in my teens, I seem to lose the means to fly. My, what I'd give to be laughing all the time, to be dancing all the time, and have all the time in the world. It's a long story, so sip your drinks. My grandparents, my maternal grandparents, were from West Virginia. Yeah, we got some West Virginia fans here. So when they came here, I think, and if I'm wrong, don't correct me, little sister. I believe, and neither is you too over here. I believe they came up during the Depression, or my grandfather did first. And they first stop was Rockland County or somewhere upstate, as we call it. And then they eventually ended up in the Bronx. And they did have, by the time we got to the Bronx, 9 kids. Yeah, can you imagine? That's just too much to think about. And so as they settled in the Bronx, my grandfather was a super. And most of the kids were out except for the youngest 2. I think at that time when they bought their first farm. They called it a farm. It was a house. There were no animals. And there was like 50-something million acres on the first farm. It had, I don't know, did it have electricity? I think it did. But it didn't have plumbing. And I went down there when I was a kid, and there's no plumbing. There was a pump to get the water, yeah. But the best part was the outhouse. Yeah, there was an outhouse, all wooden, just like you see in those old movies. It was frightening. I don't even know if we stayed there because my mother was just not having that. She's a Bronx girl. She was like, I'm not having that. But the next house, farm, that they bought was only 13 acres. And it had indoor plumbing. And it was a really nice house. My grandfather, I think, had 13 acres, and it was just his house on it at the time. And he gave an acre to his nephew. That's all that was there. So every summer, my grandparents would go down. And then, we'd go down with a parent. Parents would go home. If we wanted to stay, we'd just stay. My grandfather would say, don't you kids have a home? Aren't you going back in the car with them? My grandmother was never without children at her feet like Lady Madonna. She was always with the children at her feet. And we would just drop off if we wanted to stay. We'd go home with some family member that was coming at some point to go back up to New York. And it was great. My grandmother utilized children. Okay, she had a garden. She would grow veggies down at the end of her hill, from the house side of the house. There was a little hill, and she grew all kinds of veggies. She had corn, potatoes, green beans, lettuce. I don't even remember. But she did recruit us to go down and pick some stuff so she can can it. And we'd go down and to pick green beans. And she'd always come down with the garden hoe, thinking she was going to hoe potatoes. And we're kids picking these green beans, and the bush only about that big, so you're down on the ground with your hand in there, and she'd go, well, you all better be careful of those copperheads and watch your hand. What? I have a concrete backyard. I mean, I'm a super, but what the hell is that? And she brought that hoe because it was a snake killer. It wasn't for the potatoes. It was to make sure that none of us got bitten by a freaking copperhead. But it was fun. And then we'd sit on the porch and we'd string the beans, and she'd cook them, and I didn't eat them because I didn't eat green beans, or she'd can them. But it was kind of cool because, like I said, she utilized these children very well. There's laws against that now. But Grandpa, on the other hand, he got bronxified. So when he bought the house, he put a street lamp on the top of his property. And so because it gets really dark, there was nothing, so it would be pitch black, like scary. I'm a Bronx girl. There's lights all over the place. What's dark? And trees, lots of trees. Yeah, right, Rex? Trees. I know, there were trees all over the place, frightening. But Grandpa put the street light up, and we would sit on the porch at night because and watch the bats fly. So no one was stepping off that porch because there were bats flying all over the place. And Grandpa also was very protective of my grandmother's garden because the groundhogs would come and eat his beans, as he would say. So he'd sit in his lawn chair with his little hat and his rifle shotgun. Folks, it's West Virginia. Probably many other places now, but this was West Virginia. We weren't allowed here. He'd chase us all away. And he'd shoot those little buggers and then put them, I don't know what he did with them. I think he tried to give one to my uncle once. And then what else did we do? The best part about it was, just as you turn into the road to go to my grandmother's house, there was this little white church, or we called it a little church. It's like a little chapel. It was a memorial chapel built for a little boy who died of leukemia, and I guess the town came together, right, and built it. And it was built in 1968, so it was always there. And it was really the coolest thing because this boy was only 8 years old, and there's a whole thing in there about him. Fast forward 400 years, my sister and I decided we're going to go down and take a road trip to West Virginia, and we're going to go back, keeping in mind that I think the last time we were there, we only saw the old house. At some point, my grandfather's friend Odie, who used to watch the house, burnt it down. Yeah, so my grandfather had it rebuilt. So I'd never seen that house. So we're driving down the road. My sister in the house, she remembers every road and everything. She hadn't been there in 900 years. I just really remember barely anything. So we get down, we see the turn where we have to go, because the little white church is still there, chapel, church. And Dan's pulling over the car. My sister and I have the door open. We're jumping out of the car. Car's not stopped because we were so overwhelmed with that it was still there, and this was such a part of our childhood memory. And we drive down the road and we go to where my grandfather's house was my grandfather's house. And as we pulled up on the top of the property, the house is there. It's a different house, but it was his. The street lamp was still there that he put up. But it was different because looks like they subdivided the property, and there are many houses on it now. The last time I was there were 2. And it was just so overwhelming, and old Mr. Miller, who lives in the house now, that we met. But all I could do was just stand there and close my eyes and just remember how it was. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life was old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama. feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Down country roads, take me home. Down country roads. Thank you. And you know, living in the Bronx, we didn't have country roads. No, like horse and buggy. No. But you know, people say, you know, they call city slickers. Y'all city slickers, you don't know what it's like to be down here and be all in that scary city. But it wasn't scary. It was busy, even when I was young. So, you know, where do you go? And you city folk are gonna understand this. Where do you go when you have decent peace of mind? We had the roof. It was Tar Beach. We can have picnics. Or you could just go in, and you could just go and just sit down and relax. When this old world starts getting you down, and people are just too much for me to face, I climb way up to the top of the stairs, and all my cares just drift right into space. On the roof, it's peaceful as can be, and there the world below don't bother me. So when I come home feeling tired and weak, I'll go up where the air is fresh and sweet. I'll get far away from the hustling crowd and all that rat race noise down in the street. On the roof, that's the only place I know where you just have to wish to make it so. Up on the roof. At night the stars put on a show for free. And darling, you can share it all with me. I keep a telling you that right smack dab in the middle of town, I found a paradise that's trouble-proof. And if this world starts getting you down, there's room enough for two up on the roof. Up on the roof. Up on the roof. As a teenager, this is our 8-track flashback, by the way. These are 70 songs. As a teenager, you know, I guess all teenagers feel this. You feel like you don't have your place. You feel like, oh, you're all alone, like you don't belong. And I lived through music. Music was my therapy. It was cheaper. And I could always find a song that would get me through whatever it was in my life. You know, heartbreak, or friendship break, or happy times, you know, and I always had songs that I lived through until I wore them out and couldn't listen to them again for another 10 years. But that's what helped me. Music always helped me. And there's one song that is still a fallback song, but it was a very powerful song for me in my teens. It really helped me to know that I wasn't alone. All the time I thought there's only me, crazy in a way that no one else could be. I would have given everything I own if someone would have said, you're not alone. All the time I thought that I was wrong, wanting to be me, but needing to belong. If I had just believed in all I had, if someone would have said, you're not so bad. All the time, all the wasted time, all the years waiting for a sign to think I had it all the time. All the time I thought there's only me, crazy in a way that no one else could be. I can't believe that you were somewhere too, thinking all the time it's only you. All the time, all the wasted time, all the years waiting for a sign to think I had it all the Again in the 70s, it was a time of change, right ladies? Yes. But there was a big movement for women, women's lib. And it was a time of change, and I went to an all-girls Catholic high school. They were there with me. St. Thomas Aquinas in the Bronx, on 183rd, right? 183rd or 182nd in Belmont. We'll say 183rd because it sounds better. It was a great school. And I had gone to a high school before that, and I had to leave. So we ended up in Aquinas, St. Thomas Aquinas, and it was the best move I ever made, even by accident. Because this was a time of women coming up and finding their paths and finding their way and being trained to do that. And we couldn't have been luckier. We had a sisterhood, and we still do, with our girls, women. And the class of 79, we really did. I think, I say we had the best class, best graduating class ever. We did, right? We had amazing teachers. They guided us in every direction to be who we wanted to be. There was no hold back. And we have these strong women young women who went out into the world and made so much of their lives. We keep in touch even if they're not all here. We see them, we do, we see them and we do. And we were so lucky, but I think it was at such a time of change, and I think Helen Reddy said it best. I am a woman, hear me roll, the numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend, 'cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor. No one's ever gonna keep me down again. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. Can bend but never break me, 'cause it only serves to make me more determined to achieve my final goal. And I'll come back even stronger, not a novice any longer, 'cause you deepen the conviction in my soul. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. Watch me grow, standing toe to toe, as I spread my loving arms across the land. But I'm still an embryo, a long, long way to go, until I make my brothers understand. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. I am woman. I am few of you would know that song. Really?
I'm strong.
One more for him. Like I said, in the 70s we had a lot of things. There was one movie that I thought was the only movie, A Star is Born. Oh, but you know it with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. There were two other versions. Three? Well, I counted three. There's three altogether. Maybe there was another one. Musicals. I think there's one that's not a musical. But anyway, I don't know much about that either music. But there is, my favorite was the one that was out with Barbra Streisand and Chris Christopherson. It was a very powerful, very moving, and it was wonderful. And I don't think I was stoned when I saw that one. All the other movies, I was always stoned at the movies, but I don't think I was stoned at that one. Sorry, Mom. Good. But I have favorite songs from that one, and the one that I always okay. The one that carried me through, the one that I really liked, that always stood with me. With one more like you. I can learn to tame the clouds and let the sun shine through. Leave a troubled past and I might start anew. I'll solve the mysteries if you're the prize. Refresh these tired eyes with one more look at you. I might overcome the anger that I've learned to know. Find a peace of mind I lost so long ago. Your gentle touch has made me strong again, and I belong again. Look at me, I'm everything and more that I had dreams I'd be. My spirit feels a promise I won't be alone. We'll love and live more, love and live forever. With one more look at you, I'd learn to change the stars and change our fortunes too. I'd have the constellations, paint your portrait too, so all the world might see this wondrous sight. The world could end each night with one more look at you. With one more look at you. I want one more look at you. Oh, we're down to the wire. So there's thank yous to be said. And I'd like to thank Sydney Meyer, Don't Tell Mama, for inviting us back. I'd also like to thank Ernie Bird on lights, sound up there. My favorite videographer, Sherry Shannon, in the back. And our lovely wait staff, I believe it's Randy and Nicola, that's what I was told. So please be good to them. They work hard. And they're killing you guys tonight, so really big double. Also, I'd like to thank once again Rex Benincasa. The one and only David Gaines. And someone who's not here on the stage tonight, but he's here in the audience. My musical director, my mentor, person who has known me for a lot of years. And he's really been a wonderful, wonderful teacher and has given me so much. David Brunetti. And of course, we all here, thank you all there for coming down here to Don't Tell Mama tonight. Without you, be us, although we have a lot of fun, but it helps to have you here too. Everybody says don't. Everybody says don't. Everybody says don't. It isn't right. Don't. It isn't nice. Everybody says don't. Everybody says don't. Everybody says don't walk on the grass. Don't disturb the peace. Don't skate on the ice. Well, I say do. I say walk on the grass. It was meant to feel. I say sail. Tilt at the windmill, and if you fail, you fail. Everybody says don't, everybody says don't, everybody says get out of line. When they say that then, lady, that's a sign. 9 times out of 10, lady, you are doing just fine. Just a ripple. Come on, be brave. This time a ripple. Next time a wave. Sometimes you got to start small, climbing the tiniest wall. Maybe you're going to fall, but it's better than not starting at all. Everybody says don't, everybody says can't, everybody says listen about the boat, doesn't touch a thing. Everybody says don't, everybody says stop, everybody says keep by City Hall. Kids upset the cart, to the king. Now I say try, I say laugh at the king, I'll make you cry. Sure, boys, fall if you have to, but lady, make a noise. Everybody says don't, everybody says can't, everybody says round for miracles. It's the way the world is made. Why, it's just the miracles. If you do them miracles, nothing to them. I say don't.
Laura, could you sing It Goes Like It Goes? Oh my God, you get a request.
That was at the last show, so
Yes.
you should have been there.
I remember that. I like that song. Very, yeah. I did it well. The pianist was awesome.
One more to go. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love never leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get a choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might be making chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing high and low. Follow every highway, every path you know. Climb every mountain, ford every stream. Follow every rainbow till you find your dream. A dream that will need all the love you can give. Every day of your life, or as long as you live. Climb every mountain, ford every stream. Follow every rainbow till you find your dream. And I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance.
Thank you for joining us at Don't Tell Mama. Please remain seated until you settle your checks. Once you have settled your checks, please join the performer outside in the patio. Thank you so much for coming.